Let's go out to Philadelphia. We were born and raised, and Kelly spent most of her days on the playground. Let's talk to Sarah. What's up, Sarah?
Hey.
How we doing?
How are you doing?
I'm partying, man. What are you doing?
What the heck? I'm incredibly honored to be on your show.
Well, I am honored that you are giving us your most precious resource, which is your time. And you could be doing so many other fun things this morning.
Just so you know, I've been praying for you for this moment.
Oh, no. Did we used to date or something? That's my biggest fear, that an old girlfriend's going to call and be like, you were mean.
No, not even close.
You were like, I would never date you. All right, so what do you got?
So I felt like I can't be the only one who gets triggered from listening to your shows.
No, everybody does. I get triggered sitting in here. What do you get triggered about?
Seriously, like every time somebody calls in with a marriage question, infidelity question, I project that onto my husband and we get in a fight. I'm triggered physically, mentally, everything by these shows. And it started way back when you did I think it was your first marriage and money show with Rachel.
Yep. Rachel, my good friend Rachel Cruz.
Back when.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that you're advertising for the next one in October.
Hey, this one's in person. You should come. Y'all should come, and you can be triggered for 36 straight hours.
No kidding, I probably would be, but I was like, I don't like that guy.
Have you been cheated on before?
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course. You see the correlation, right?
I guess I do. I just I feel like I should be over it. I should be okay. It's my problem now.
It is, but I don't like to use should in this situation, okay? Let's use a different word, because should it just often makes our bodies go into defense mechanisms really somewhat unconsciously. So when someone's like, you shoulda, bam, I instantly have to protect and defend myself now instead of actually get to the problem, okay? Should is often a shutdown word. Doesn't mean that there aren't tons of things that we should do. I should take care of my kids. I shouldn't cheat on my wife. All those things are true. But when I'm trying to get to the bottom of why my body is responding in a certain way, that word's often not helpful. So think of it this way. And I want you to take full ownership and responsibility. And it sounds like you're more than willing to do that. You're really trying to figure out, why can't you just listen to this goofball podcast without your body taking off on you, right? So let me ask you this question. Are you still in relationship with the person who cheated on you?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your body getting out of the response it's providing you when you listen to this show? Your body's trying to protect you from what?
Yeah, from being a fool.
Okay, so that's one of two things. Either you have made an identity out of a person who was cheated on. That's become the way you see yourself. And when somebody cheats on us, two things happen. One, we have that relational violation, right? This core us is broken. And we lose trust in ourselves. Because we should have seen it. We should have known. I should have said something earlier when I had an inkling, and we didn't. And we just lose trust in ourselves. And that's unmooring, right?
Yeah.
So that can be one. The other is your body recognizes very similar patterns over the last year or two.
30 years.
No. I'm saying your body is picking up on this thing may be going on again.
Yeah.
And so do you think this has become an identity for you? It's just kind of the way you see the world? Or are you having to wrestle with at a scary, scary level? Because you probably made some promises to yourself the last time. Is your body picking up, there's some similar patterns here. I remember this story from last time.
Yeah, that's a great question. Because I'm a 6 on the aces.
Okay.
And my husband's a 6 on the aces.
So you've got two very highly tuned radars pinging off each other all the time, right?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
So The thing is like the red flags were there.
Right now?
No, not anymore. Like I point blank asked him this morning. I said, Dr. John's going to ask me if I trust you, like 100%. And he, without even finishing the sentence, he said, yes, you can trust me 100%.
That is
and he even prayed. He prayed with me before this meeting.
Okay. So that is a very different question than, have you cheated on me again?
Right.
It's a very different question. And it's an evasive question that we often ask to keep ourselves safe from the truth.
Right.
So let's pretend that your husband's been perfect. He screwed up. What was the nature of the infidelity, by the way?
Huge porn and lust and inappropriateness with customers.
Okay. How long ago?
D-Day was 3 years ago, and we were married 27 years when I found out.
How long was it going on before that?
Probably 27 years, if not more.
Okay. And you, in retrospect, do you see where you missed it, or was this just a total shell shock?
I feel like I didn't miss it. I was led to believe that I was crazy.
Yeah. Were you, let me ask, that's probably a better way. Were you roundly deceived, or did you choose to not know?
Probably chose to not know.
Okay. All right. Because one of those, there's a level of pathology. So here's for everybody listening, and for you, Sarah. Here's what I'm getting at. Affairs happen. One night stands happen. Going to a work conference and you meet somebody and y'all start laughing and one thing leads to another. That happens. Or texting back and forth with a workmate that leads to this, that happens. Okay. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it happens. And I've got empathy for that situation. I understand it.
Okay.
If that leads to significant dishonesty, gaslighting, you can't trust me, this is your fault, you never trusted anybody, you've been doing this since we were dating, and it leads to these giant cover-ups, well, now we have another layer as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that layer of not only did I do something outside of my value system, but now I'm going to just intentionally destroy somebody else to prop it up and keep it going. Those are two separate issues to me. And as far as I'm concerned, and I may be wrong here, and that's fine if I am, one is infinitely more nefarious than the other.
Sure.
Okay. And the other option is there's this going on. Your husband's a natural flirt. He's always clicking out of the computer whenever you come home. The search history is always deleted when you pick it up, even over something silly like just checking movie times or something. And that nagging feeling inside, like, oh, he is always flirting with those customers a lot, right? And you choose to not ask.
Mm-hmm.
There's a participation there, right? It's not that he's hiding anything. It's just, I'm just going to keep my head down and we're just going to keep doing this thing. And so it could be a mix of any of all that. All that to say is, when you listen to my show and we're having real couples going through real hard things right now. And real individuals wrestling with infidelity and with trust and with all those things, your body's response tells me that you haven't fully either grieved it, you haven't fully owned it, and that it is still a way that you are viewing the world. It's still the glasses that you wear.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then so that leaves me with two questions for you. One, why listen to the show? Like, stop listening. Stop listening. It's like, man, every time I touch that stove, it burns my hand. Or keep listening to the show and choose to enter into a really difficult season of healing. Because I don't know that you're there yet.
Yeah, I don't think I am either.
So why have you chosen to not enter into that? What are you getting by hanging on to this thing? That safety, that feeling of safety?
Yeah. I just feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop every day.
What does your husband say when you tell him that?
He says he understands, but he's faithful. Like, he gets it now. Like, he wasn't always empathetic. But he says I can trust him.
What have you asked him to do to demonstrate trust? Not to just say it. What have you asked him to do? What behaviors are different now?
I asked him to cherish me. He's not very good at that. I've asked him.
What does cherish? What does cherish you mean?
To think about me when I'm not around.
How does he demonstrate that to you?
To bring me something that means he was thinking of me.
Okay, you want him to buy you stuff?
Yeah, or I don't know, just anything. Write me a note, something that makes me believe that he was thinking about me.
Okay. And be affectionate with you, flirt with you the way he flirts with customers?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
doesn't always happen.
I know it doesn't. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
And what you haven't done is you haven't said, I want you to give up your cell phone and get a flip phone. What you haven't said is, I'm going to start seeing customers, not you. Or I don't know if y'all are at a family business. I'm making something up. I want you to consider another line of work. Because when you go off to see clients, I still can't breathe.
Right.
What you've asked him to do is something on the periphery. And I'm going to say this with all due respect and kindness and love to him and to you. I'll buy you stuff. That's fine. And I will hold your hand when we're watching TV. That has nothing to do with my extracurricular affairs. And so what you're asking him to do are and what your body's demanding are two different things.
Gotcha.
You're asking to be cherished like the object of his pornography. You're asking for him to replace flirting with customers and being inappropriate with customers and pornography with you.
Right.
And that's not the issue. My guess is he doesn't feel alive in his own home, and he's going looking for it. And that is a relational fracture that y'all got to deal with. I'm not blaming you for that at all. What I'm saying is his heart starts beating a little bit faster when he's on the computer. His heart starts beating a lot faster when he's flirting with somebody that's not you.
Right.
And his heart slows down and goes, ugh, when he walks in his own front door.
Right.
And that's a choice he's made for 30 freaking years.
Right.
And then y'all have done that dance together. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me at all that you hear or see these relationship challenges that your body is like, this is it right here in our house. There it is. And it just starts going on and on and on, right? The alarm systems sound.
Yeah. What ails me?
The truth. I don't know that y'all have done the work after what happened. Here, okay, I'll just cut to it. I think you think other things happened, and you still don't believe him, is what I think. And y'all have moved on down the road, and he's just trying to get, quote unquote, back to the way things were, and you haven't fully let him know that there will never be a going back. That what y'all had for 30 years is over now, and if y'all are going to do anything, you got to build something new going forward. You haven't told him that, and you still think he hasn't told you everything about what happened. And you haven't given him a path for regaining trust in your home. So if nothing did happen, he doesn't have a way to show you that. He just has to keep saying it over and over again, and he's told you things for 30 years.
Right.
So you see, there's where it just gets in a figure eight loop over and over and over again.
Yes. Yes.
And then eventually he's going to get tired of coming home and expecting you to read his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, expecting him to read your mind.
Right.
And
right.
then somebody's going to make him laugh, and now we're off to the races again. Or a buddy's
Right.
going to send him a funny email that's not so funny, he's going to be down a rabbit hole again. This isn't your fault. I don't want you to hear me say that in any shape, form, or fashion. He's got a ton of work to do, and man, I wish he'd call into the show, because I would tell him he needs to shut his mouth and start acting differently, and he's not doing that.
Right.
But I think y'all got to get to the core healing here, because you just aren't there yet. That's what I think. I could be out to lunch, but that's what it sounds like to me.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head.
I'm sorry. I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong.
No, it's good. It's all good. This is a divine appointment I was praying for.
I wish the divine could have been kinder to both of us. So here's the path forward. You have to own reality. You have to choose reality. And I don't think you're there yet. And so often when folks get stuck and they are in this loop like y'all are in, and I say this over and over and over on this show, I think it starts with a letter that you end up reading to him. And in the letter, you got to be honest. If you still don't trust him, if you think he had an affair, wasn't just contained in pornography or in being inappropriate, as you said, if you think he did other things, you have to ask point blank. Write that in the letter. I still am unable to trust you. My body is still telling me you're not safe. You have to give him a roadmap of your choosing to a new level of trust somewhere. What will that look like? What does he need to do to earn that trust? And then he, as a grown-up, gets to make a choice. I'm not doing that. I'm out. Or I'll do anything in the world to show you that I'm working on it. I'm changing. It could be marriage counseling. It could be getting rid of phones. It could be no more computer access. Whatever the things, how crazy is you want to get. It's up to you. And then y'all have to decide, how do we recreate life inside this house? What do I need to do to help you feel alive? And what does he need to do to help you feel alive? You've told him, I want you to cherish me. I want you to buy me gifts. I want you to think about me. He needs to be able to say, I need this, and I need this, and I need this. And then y'all spend the next 60, 90, 120 days, 2, 3, 4 months practicing meeting each other's needs and meeting each other's needs, all with a goal of re-earning this trust back, building something completely new. But it has to start from a platform of reality, honesty, truth. That's where we got to start, Sarah. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of Own Your Past, Change Your Future. You can go through it, and man, he can go through it with you. And that can be something that unifies you two together that y'all use as y'all begin to build something new. Give me a call back. I'll walk with you every step of the way.